You guys are live.
All righty. Everybody, welcome to the Safe Haven. I want to let you guys know that nothing you hear here is financial advice. We are with the team of Asvoria. Now, everybody, let's go ahead and get into it. So we got Russell. He has his screen up, so he's going to be the primary speaker right now. Guys, just go ahead and give us a brief overview of the project, and then we'll talk about you guys individually.
Sounds great. Okay, so Asvoria is the first major metaverse project on Solana, and there's a few really key differentiators that make Asvoria stand out from every other metaverse project that has come up until now. The first is just an incredible level of hyper-realistic graphics, because even though we built on Solana, we utilized Unreal Engine, and the most advanced version of it, 5.3, is what's currently being used. So the level of photorealism within Asvoria is just second to none, especially when you compare it to most metaverses that are still more cartoonish than anything. The second is our integration of AI. We are very conscious of making sure that Asvoria has long-term sustainable success and is future-proof. So we want to be able to integrate new advancements in technology seamlessly. So we've built a platform on a foundation of AI, and our avatars, as one example, are imbued with AI and really are incredibly powerful and a very powerful revenue stream as well. And third is the approach to this project from the perspective of a real business, and the focus on sustainable revenue streams from a B2B perspective. And that's, again, something that metaverses until now have been more consumer-based, and we certainly will have that ability for people to come on and meet with their friends and play games and go to concerts and do shopping. But there's a very strong focus on B2B and bringing businesses and influencers and individuals with a fan base into Web3 and helping them establish a presence in Asvoria. And one of the key areas in the short term that will bring us revenue is the Launchpad. This is something that we've got a very strong focus on. We will be launching the Launchpad this quarter. So it's going live soon. It will go live along with the wallet and the NFT marketplace, but the focus really is on the Launchpad, because it's an opportunity for us to generate revenue in the short term, sustainable revenue. And really what we identified was a huge gap in the Solana ecosystem. So, anyone that's been paying attention has seen that Solana is really coming into its own from a technology perspective. Our platform is built on microtransactions. So Solana is ideal for that because of very low gas fees and very fast transaction times and throughput. And we've seen recently that Solana actually surpassed Ethereum in NFT trading volume, which is huge. Everybody saw what Jupiter did last week. So Solana and even the token price has gone from like $15 to $110, in the last 6 months or so. So I think Solana is really coming into its own, but where it hasn't established a presence yet is, number one, in the metaverse space, which is one thing we're hoping to achieve, but specifically with Launchpads. There are some good ones on Ethereum, on Polygon, on other chains, BNB, but on Solana, there has yet to establish a really market dominant Launchpad that attracts the best projects and attracts the most investors. And so that's a tremendous opportunity that we identified and that we are hoping to fill in the very short term, especially now. I think the timing is excellent. You see what often Solana tokens do that are meme coins that have no real use case or utility versus, what we're going to do. And our Launchpad is really going to, I think, significantly differentiate ourselves. The level of projects, the level of vetting that we're going to do, you see that we're all on camera. We are an identified, established team, and there will be no anon teams launching on our Launchpad. Everybody will be doxxed. Everybody will be fully vetted, KYC'd, and we want only the highest quality projects, because again, if that's the core brand that we hope to establish with our Launchpad is the quality of projects, and then hopefully that will attract the level of investor that we think we can do. So yeah, that's the project in a nutshell. I don't know, Phil, do you want to add anything to that, or you can just tell us about yourself? Oh, you're muted.
Because we have a clear roadmap. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay. So I joined the team a year ago, and I am a marketeer for 9 years, but also a UX UI designer. So I was at the forefront of the strategy concept outrolling, because building a metaverse is a long-term vision, of course, which we already put out a little bit of use cases with partners we did. But it's more than a metaverse, because we start with a launchpad and also a marketplace for NFT. But the launchpad is really hot now, because on Solana there is no launchpad. There are now Jupiter, but it's a big thing. And because we are running it as a company, where people can step in and they can start with creating their own token or an NFT collection. They already can put it out next month on our platform, because that will be first things we will launch: the launchpad, the marketplace, and the wallet integration. So it's also seamlessly and getting together in one place. And yeah, that a long-term vision. People who join with as a partnership or as an incubator of the platform, they can start with their token collection, and then they can build with the revenue they make of that their own Web3 space, where they can bring experiences to their communities. So yeah.
That's great. And Elise, do you want to just introduce yourself quickly? Oh, did she drop off? She may have dropped off. Okay. I'll just, so just a brief background on myself for anyone that wants to know. Sorry about that. I thought that was coming from someone else. My name is Russell Corus. I am the Chief Digital Assets Officer for Asvoria. I got into crypto in 2014, so I've been in the space for about 10 years. In 2019, I immersed myself deeply in NFTs and went down that rabbit hole and kind of never looked back. And for about the last 2 years, I've been heavily involved in AI, working closely with Singularity and Sophia the robot, who's the world's most advanced humanoid robot, and her father, Dr. Ben Goertzel. And so my primary role is to help shape strategy around digital assets, around NFTs, around the token, as well as how best to integrate AI. But I am 53 years old, so I was 43 before I ever got into crypto, 20 years in the corporate space. And, that's the reason why I've been so attached to this project. I've been working with Nico, our founder, for about 2 years now. And it was really the approach of this project as a real business. We are not, a bunch of 20-year-olds sitting in a basement launching another meme token. We are established, seasoned veterans working, fully doxed like a real company, looking at long-term vision. We have, comprehensive financial models. We have a business plan. Our initial seed investors, none of them had ever invested in a crypto project before or had ever touched crypto in their lives. They're all traditional investors who did the same due diligence on us as they would any other company, and chose to invest. So, that's something that's really, I think, important to establish, that the approach to revenue, the approach to sustainability, and to investor value is really top of mind for us. And everything that we do is done with that in mind.
That's what's up, man. So now we can get into the straight up questioning of it. Let's get right into the meat and the juicy stuff. Here we go. So let's talk about it from the investor's perspective, their point of view. What about your project stands out the most, and why? What's the most attractive thing, and why is that, based on what you've gotten from investors?
Oh, there's Elise. All right, Elise, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll circle back and answer that question if that's okay, DC.
Yeah, that's cool. Go ahead.
Thanks. Yeah, sorry guys, my privacy settings wouldn't let me get on camera. So I'm Elise Sam. I like to tell people in short, I got into blockchain by accident. I was actually a nurse and I took care of hospice patients. So I took care of the mentally ill and also the dying, and I'm drug addicted. So one day I was stopped at a red light and I was actually plowed by a semi truck. I have 7 spinal injuries down my back, a metal clavicle and shattered bones throughout my body. So you typically will see me like relaxing back in a chair in bed and hanging out in the crypto world. I was trained by Dmitry Buterin, the founders of Ethereum, very early in cryptocurrency. I've been in cryptocurrency 11 years this January. I've launched 12 of the top 150 cryptocurrencies through working with GSR and Alphabet, the biggest funding groups in cryptocurrency. And so, yeah, it's been a wild ride. I was on Team McAfee. I traveled and did events with Team McAfee, helped build John's website, John McAfee. So I worked in cybersecurity, and I teach at Ivy League colleges, cybersecurity and also Web3 NFT.
John McAfee didn't kill himself.
No, sir, he didn't. So, yeah, and I am extremely proud to be on the Asvoria team. In fact, I'm a founder, and I left founding 2 of my own projects to go full time with Asvoria because it was such a, and just they're better builders than me, and so you gotta just go with what's working, you know. So I'm proud of them. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys. So let's talk about you asked about marketing, DC. Is that what you asked about?
No, the investor value.
The investor value. Yeah. Russ, why don't you actually touch on the investor value and like all the utility behind that? And Phil and I can definitely back you out. I think you do the best in that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so thanks for the question, DC. Obviously, that's very relevant to everybody listening and anyone considering investing. And it's, again, just to reiterate, it is a very, very strong focus for us. We are all, I've been trading crypto for close to 10 years, and I've gone through, the DeFi craze and the NFT craze and all these other, in 2017 with forking and all that craziness. And so in terms of trading, staking, and understanding how to, increase or sustain buy pressure, both in tokens as well as NFTs, is something that we are all very cognizant of. Excuse me. So it's something that we, discuss all the time and make sure that is always a focus for us. So specifically in this case, I think in the short term, again, I kind of touched upon it before, but it's really the launch pad that is the primary driver of investor value because, it's an opportunity. It's a massive opportunity if we can establish ourselves in this space as the go-to launch pad on Solana. With the timing of Solana's rise to fame, I think it's going to be really huge for us. And it's also part of a larger ecosystem. So we have an incubator. If you have a good idea, you want to come and you just don't have the resources, whether it's development resources, marketing resources, financial resources, we can help establish for you a presence in Web3, in Asvoria, as well as become a partner with you and help you launch your business. And if you need your own token, you become part of the Asvoria network. And then when you are ready, when you've built sufficiently and you are ready to go to that next level of launching your token, then there's a launch pad that attracts all of the best investors, has all of the best projects on it, is really number one in its space. And, that's where just everybody goes. So that opportunity with all of this confluence of circumstances coming together, I think is really going to provide tremendous value for investors.
All right, man, that's what's up right there. And so if you could really map it out, because you got all different sorts of people here, and you would say it should be obvious to the people who are listening, but everybody can't think the same way. So what type of investor would you say this project is best suited for? I know everybody can make money off of it, but there are certain people who would really put a lot more money than others. And there are people here who would put a lot more time, effort, attention than other people would. So although it is true that we would like to say everybody, the reality is there are some select people that would really, really put the energy in, really, really put the money in. And that small dynamic, that, that 80-20 rule, I already know y'all have heard it. That little 20% is what will take everything farther, man. So go ahead and answer that.
Yeah, what we do is we attract businesses and good projects to the platform because we will audit it, all the projects that will be on this platform, because we see it as a company, and every token or collection or Web3 space they want to build, it's a company. Also, it's a company is a community. So we help them build good projects within our own ecosystem because we have the team in Unreal, but we also have the knowledge, the network space, so we can do a token listing on our platform, and that can be a big project at the end of the tunnel. It can be a Web3 space. It can be anything. So all good projects will have a place on Solana that is with great communities, not just memes or like that.
I have something to add to that, if that's okay. Yeah, I agree with you, Phil, and definitely. But I think also like the top 20% that's really going to take Asvoria to the top are going to be people that Asvoria is actually onboarding to help with this, i.e. Ken Bozak. The Launchpad is really great, and that it was so needed in the Web3 space because Ken Bozak is a really great example of what Web3 is and how it can relate to the average person. He had his podcast, and then he started launching NFTs, and he built this community, and then he strategized and he planned out the Ken, the Ken token, and he made almost $1 million selling the Ken token, but not without so many different failure points because he was invested did the same thing. One of our artists that's on residency here, a very famous, well-known artist that's worked in media as well as art. And dance. He's just a fantastic and beautiful spiritual person. You guys will love him and everything that he does. But these people were, making digital assets and making dollars of themselves, and people they didn't even know what an NFT was because there wasn't even a term for it until 2018. And also all these people that were forward thinkers and had all the talent, they had to spend their own money and resources and also time and fail a couple of times and have great success, obviously, but fail. And this, what Asvoria is doing with the Launchpad, it's going to allow anybody to do that. And the people that are going to succeed the most and take us to the top are going to be people like Bessa and Ken Bozak, and they're helping with the marketing too. But it's also going to be for the Safe Haven group as well. Like if you guys, interacted in Web3 on Asvoria, and you guys got your digital twins and you guys have launched your tokens and your projects, how many different collaborations can you do together? And how much can you do in Web3, and how much is actually awarded back to the individuals that have all, made part of this. This ecosystem, we're building it for Fortune 500 companies and also for, up and coming artists like Russell Sun, who's a really great, well-known artist on Spotify, but the people that are going to take us to the top are people like you guys in this community that have a background in cryptocurrency, that are forward thinkers, that understand the importance of Web3, where it's going. And also, you want to get your things out there and you want to share education and help others.
And you know what? I'll just add one more thing to that. I think that one of the key factors for Asvoria's success is that one of our underlying goals has always been to help facilitate mass adoption of Web3 and Metaverse, and that's one of the reasons for our commitment to the hyper realistic graphics, because I think for mass adoption that's necessary. But the other component, or two other components, are the user experience and education. And so the user experience is very simple, and there's typically a very high bar to entry for brand new users with no experience to get into the crypto space. But we are really trying to appeal to that demographic. We're not going after the tiny fraction of people that are already in metaverse. We're going after the 99 point whatever percent that aren't yet, and we're giving them an experience that they can enjoy and that they can understand and is intuitive. And so I think that translates to our investors as well. I really hope that we are appealing to people, that may not be seasoned investors, but might want to, and based on the number, we would love to have some larger investors as well. We've got NFTs that we are giving away with every investment, but a majority of our investors to this point have been between 10 and 100 Solana. We haven't had a lot of huge whales. And so I think we are appealing to, between 1 and 10, I should say, a lot of investment in that range. So I think we're appealing to, and what I'm hoping is that we're building a community, not just people that are sitting on the token and looking to flip it. I really want them to be engaged, and we have a variety of strategies to reward engagement and to allow users to essentially monetize their engagement with the platform through play to earn and learn to earn, a variety of different ways, and to really be involved and help us grow and give feedback and have a voice in the ecosystem. So that's really, I would like to think that we're attracting that type of investor.
That's what's up. Great question. Great answers from y'all. Y'all really got together, and that's the biggest thing I keep on trying to tell folks to look for. Because once you got good volume and good attention, the next thing is paying attention to the team. Because when stuff falls apart, it happens with the team, which y'all get everything right in terms of what we would look for in the AMA. Clear questions. There's no signs of a lack of integrity or deception or anything like that. You're showing your faces, which is a bonus. Y'all do everything right, and this is what I'm always trying to tell folks to look for when you watch these AMAs, because a lot of folks don't pay attention to the team and they just pay attention to some hype alone, and they wonder why they just be losing money and can't find that one project that does X, Y, and Z. But anyways, give y'all's flowers. It's Valentine's Day coming up, so I had to make sure I brought that here, But anyways, on. If you were, I love you too. If we're gonna be fully honest with ourselves when it comes to this market right now, even though things are pretty good, we're not gonna lie, guys. The metrics are still not there. The volume is still not in the market. The social metrics are still not here. So what can you tell everybody here that would let them know that when the bull run actually starts for real, where the social metrics are at their same peaks that they used to be years ago, when there's engagement and volume at the same level instead of just price pumps, which we're expecting a massive dump soon because we're like 20-30% from the previous all-time high, and we haven't even hit the halving yet. That's just all out of whack. What can you guys tell us that would let us know that you guys will stick around for a while and be even better when the best times do get here? Because, dude, until Bitcoin is at least like 80,000, we have not seen the best.
I might take that quickly and then let you guys pull up if you want. But yeah, why is it sustainable? Well, one, thank you so much for saying that, we're showing up and we appear to be ethical, and that's what's really great. I'm actually known, was one of the first top 50 and blockchain with the NFT hero or the blockchain heroes. And I'm known for being this stability because I get hashtag crypto Karen for being so ethical. And I think that in itself actually shows, sustainability. Asvoria just started marketing. They just actually started spending money on marketing. We're just going to start going to events and stuff. And then we've got like big news, like, bringing Ken Bozak on, Crypto Maggie, and then things that are just not really that public yet, like something like, I don't know, like Michael Turpin, who has done like the longest, fintech conference in the industry. And it's where institutionalized finance meets the best and brilliant minds in blockchain. And we've got not only him as an investor, but also as, an advisor. And he's had in hand in 30% of the top 100 cryptocurrencies, all searchable and evidence found online. So, how are we going to be sustainable in this? Well, like, I hate to say it, but I have all the utter confidence. The biggest names in fintech are joining this. We're going through our Rolodexes. We don't even have to ask favors, because when we tell people what we're building, they want to jump onto the ecosystem. Russ has all the really great numbers on a comparison to projects like Decentraland and a few others that we all love, that are all, great case studies of really great successful projects, but they don't have any utility. And you're right. I've launched fintech projects as early as CryptoKitties. Howdy doody, guys. And, I've seen the launches where, people are buying fake things and they're, it's all speculation and stuff. That's not sustainable. Everything that this has started from, and this is not a new project. This started as Virtual Blockchain Valley, you guys. The tech is built. It's not an idea that a bunch of nerds came up with. There's physical meetings and physical technology built all around this, and marketing just started. So,
Yeah, and I also can add to that, because we developed already for a year the platform, and together with the guys in IT who are experts in Solana platforms, they built with us the wallet, the marketplace, and this launchpad, and that's where it's all started. So also for us, we now started to launch, and we now are doing the marketing. So we have proven that we have the Asvoria network, who is building the platform and the basic layer to enter the blockchain or Web3 space. That is already built, so we can, and we have big partners over here as well with a big network, so they can attract good projects to the platform. And all the rest is built, but not the development needs to come together, like the Unreal with the technology on our platform, and that's just going forward. If we do the same with other platforms that we are doing, we have the knowledge, we can help them with the 3D integration, but also the blockchain integration, and that's where it all started. And yeah, so I think our roadmap in that case is perfect. First, build a minimum value product that brings revenue, and that's the launchpad and our marketplace. Okay, we need to be honest, the NFT market is still not going that well, but it's already there. The launchpad is there, the marketplace is there, and that we can roll out. So yeah.
And first, DC, thank you for commending us for being on camera. That's a common sentiment. Every time we go on an AMA and we dox ourselves, we get commended for it. And I'll be honest, it always kind of makes me laugh, because coming from 20 years in the corporate world, how add-on teams are able to raise even a single dollar is beyond me. I try to imagine in the real world going out as a startup and trying to get investment and refusing to identify yourself. It's like a combination of Shark Tank and The Masked Singer. It just makes absolutely no sense. So to me, I think that, the fact that we as a crypto community have allowed ourselves to accept such a low standard as anon teams is really sad, and we shouldn't, and we should demand better. And, that's what we're trying to do, is lead by example. In answer to your question, the one thing other than what Phil and Elise mentioned, which was great, in terms of long-term value and success is, first of all, our complete transparency in everything that we do, and our desire to communicate as much as possible. That's the reason for all these AMAs. On our website, we have all of our, our white paper. We have a tokenomics document that breaks out every aspect of the token raise, how the funds are used, and all of that. And in that document, you will see that the team and advisors get 0 tokens at TGE, and we have the longest vesting period of any of the classification of tokens. So it will be almost 2 years before we get all of our tokens. And it's a 20-month linear vesting starting in month 4. So, that just shows you our commitment to this project and how we approach it, how we see this project. And we all know with absolute certainty that in 2 years, these tokens will be worth a lot more than they are today. So we are all content continuing to do what we've done up until this point, which is build and create something really amazing, and just keep growing it over the next 2 years plus. But at least for that, until we get all of our tokens. So I think that as an indication of our belief in the project is very telling. And these tokens, like when you look at, Elise mentioned some of the previous projects, like the big metaverses. Sandbox's token, Sand, went in 2020, 2021 during the last bull run in about a year and a half's time, went from 5 cents to about, I believe, $8.40 at its peak. And at that peak, they had a fully diluted market cap of approximately $25 billion with no real utility and about 30 daily active users. And again, I'm not insinuating anything. I'm not implying, don't read into anything. I'm just simply stating a fact, which is that we are selling our token right now during the pre-sale at 5 cents. There are 1.2 billion tokens in total circulation, or totally as a finite supply. If the token hypothetically just reaches a value of $10, the project will have half the market cap of what Sandbox had 4 years ago. So I think there's tremendous opportunity, and that's really what we see, and why we are really focused on long-term success. But at the same time, driving that revenue as quickly as possible with the Launchpad as one example.
Yeah, we also have a difference with Decentraland because we are not just the metaverse. We are bringing islands of metaverses of partners where we were working with, and that's what I say. You can launch your own token, you can launch your own collection, and you can have your own metaverse. And we are the bridge between all of them. So, and also our community. If you go check out our Telegram group, we have moderators who will answer your questions 24/7. So, I think the foundation of this team is really good to work together with our investors. And they will see that we have a good roadmap to build revenue on the short term and have on the long term a really good vision how a metaverse needs to be, because it's like having Google decentralized through all these different worlds built on Solana.
All right. Dang, okay. Well, that passed. I did not expect it to be 10:40 already. That time passed really well. See, and here's the thing. I only had to ask about 4 questions. See, the mark of a good AMA is when the host doesn't have to ask a million questions, because that shows the team knows what they're talking about. That's where they can just go and go and go and go. You guys will pick up on 1 question and answer 3 more. So I just love these AMAs. It just makes my job freaking easier. Praise God. All right. Now let's
but we are also curious what the community has to ask us. So bring up the fire. Bring up the fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. All right, you guys, put your hands up. We're about to go ahead. All right, Greed, you're up first. There you go, bud.
Hey, DC.
Hey,
can you hear me?
Dude? Yeah, you go first.
Thanks. Hey guys, I actually have 2-part question here. prepared for you guys. First off, can users customize their AI avatars beyond their personality traits? And if so, what level of control do they have over on the appearance?
Well, I can answer that. You can customize as in every game. You can customize the cheeks. It's built on Unreal, so you can go far with the personality of your face and body fat percentage, for example. But you also can contact us and have a scan made for you. So it's a digital twin, and then with the power of AI, you can train your avatar. And we are searching for a solution that you also can bring your voice on, but that's not difficult at this time because we can have a lot of partners over there. So it can be a virtual twin of yourself. But yeah, there is Russell. But this is built in Unreal Engine
You know one,
4.
but
So
still.
yeah.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, cool. Another question. Can businesses or like organizations host virtual conferences or corporate events within Asvoria? If it's
Yes.
possible, what features are available for them to like facilitate like networking or collaboration?
Yeah, I also can answer that. In the marketplace, you will also have an event page where you can buy tickets, and those tickets are NFTs basically. So you can buy them and you can enter a virtual space. If it's you can be a teacher, for example, in a classroom, but you also can be a DJ who wants to serve millions of people with a live stream and in the virtual space. So, but that is a long-term vision, of course. But yeah, that's possible.
Oh,
And
solid.
I'll just add one thing with the AI avatars because I think that's a significant thing you brought up. I'm glad you brought that up. But so absolutely, these are highly trainable digital twins. The idea is that the more you interact with them, the more you train them, the more like you they will be. And if you're a brand, for example, and you can provide customer service in a much more engaging and interactive way than is possible with anything else. You can train your avatars to reflect your brand's messaging, values, and voice. And you can deploy your avatar on your own website through your own sort of customer networking tools. So it's a very, very powerful tool that we have some dedicated AI developers working on and doing some amazing things with.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice. Thanks for that, Russell. Appreciate your answers. Also, thanks, Phil, for answering my questions. And
Great.
thank you, DC.
You're welcome, man. All right, let's go to DeFi Whale. Okay, man, go ahead.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you, DC. So basically, I have no question. And based on the website, I see that you guys are using your token for every purchasement on the ecosystem, and I know it's a really big ecosystem. I just want to know what have you guys planned out to keep the token value appreciated.
Do you want me to take that? I can. Okay. So thank you for the question. What I'm understanding is how can we sustain the value of the token, or generally speaking, what its use is for in the ecosystem. So primarily, it's used for all of the variety of microtransactions that will be happening throughout the platform. Any sort of shopping, any interaction. Again, your engagement. The idea here is to monetize and reward engagement, and all of that will happen through the ASV token. The in-app wallet will have a very simple swap feature so that you can move funds back and forth between ASV and other tokens. It'll be essentially providing liquidity on the platform. The second use, obviously, is in a governance capacity for voting and for influence. So token holders will have a say and will have a voice in various aspects of the ecosystem. That's the two main functions of the token. But the token will have, there will be a lot of different staking options. There will be different gamifications. There will be, again, we are all traders ourselves, and looking at sustainable strategies for maintaining buy pressure. That's really what we're after, both with the tokens and with the NFTs. And one of the things that we're doing, for example, is we are creating this dual token NFT ecosystem, economic model, if you will. So the idea being that the two digital assets support each other. So if you, for example, if you hold a certain number of tokens, your NFTs may level up, or you may get a certain airdrop, or you may get other benefits. If you hold a certain type or number of NFTs, maybe you get airdrops of tokens. Some benefits on the platform you might require tokens, some might require NFTs, some might require both or combination. So the idea is that they facilitate the growth and value of each other in positive loops. And I think that's something that hasn't been done yet, and I think there's a great opportunity there for us to kind of have each other bounce off each other and both move up. So that's the main thing. And I'll just touch one more thing on these OG NFTs that are available for anybody that contributes in the private sale, in the pre-sale right now. They're really, really going to be significant. They're going to be minted at a very small number because it's only 4 people who bought in this pre-sale. And our intention is what they represent. Holders of these NFTs are the people that supported us from the very, very beginning. And that's something that we will never forget. And we want to reward that loyalty and provide constant benefit, surprise and delight NFT holders for that loyalty and for their continued loyalty. And we want to make these OG NFTs so desirable that their floor price continues to grow because the benefits they accrue. So for example, every aspect of the project will have certain hidden benefits just for OG NFT holders. And the launch pad that will be live soon as a good example. So in the form of whitelists, the platinum OG NFT will have access to every single whitelist automatically. Maybe the lower tiers might be scaled down, but that's the idea, is that whereas other people coming in will have to qualify in some way or register for a whitelist, you'll be automatically registered. In the NFT marketplace, maybe your transaction fees will be lower. Maybe you'll accrue certain points or benefits for trading volumes. In the wallet, again, certain benefits will be there. So every, and that's a good example of how we're trying to think long term about having not just the tokens, but the NFTs just continuously grow in value.
Oh, and then also just a quick note in there too, like the whole launchpad aspect of it is going to grow the token as well. Because I've already mentioned like Michael Turpin. And Michael Turpin, like I said, has had his hand in 30% of the top 100 blockchain projects and invested them in pre-seed sales, by the way. So he's done that with us and then has the knowledge to take this further. But he also has Transform Group and stuff like that. So we've got a launch pad now for our investors ecosystems that they need help. So, we're bringing utility full circle around, and that's going to benefit, the people that are owners of ASV, and it's going to, benefit the ecosystem overall too.
All right. Thank you very much for this explanation. I really understand what you guys are bringing to this ecosystem. Thank you.
Thanks for the question.
Thank you. And think about it. Gaming alone is like a $1 trillion industry a year. So, I mean, if we just touched on that in Web3, woo, but we didn't. We just did so much more, because we're exhausted and we thought it would bring more money to the ecosystem, right? So why not? Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, I'm just selecting them right now. Let's go to Benova. All right, we'll read some comment questions while he's getting ready. So Alt Sylvia Caroline wants to know, how does Asvoria plan to grow its ASV stack through flexible staking reward options and unique rewards for longer staking periods, and what exclusive benefits are associated with pre-staking token allocations?
Okay, so I didn't fully understand the question. Could you just repeat that, and just maybe we'll simplify it a little bit?
I don't understand it either. I'm trying my best, to be honest with you.
I just want to make sure I'm giving the most relevant answer, and I just want to fully understand the question.
Hold up a second. Let me reread it twice real quick for you. Hold up a minute. Let me see. You know what? Forget about that question altogether, because they really just jumbled up words to try and. They're like the 5-year-old. It's like in middle school when you're just trying to fill up an essay.
I mean,
the thesaurus.
blockchain, fintech, and Web3 is very complicated. So, and everybody, there's no dumb question, and we're all learning this together. So, it might be jumbled, but get us on the back end if you want us to walk you through it. Okay, Hen?
I will just mention, I guess, because obviously the questions are related to staking, so this might not directly answer her question, but I can talk just for a minute on staking. Obviously, will be a big part of the platform. We are all big fans of staking. Who doesn't love passive income? And it effectively takes tokens out of circulation when they are staked. There will definitely be multiple levels or tiers of staking, including flexible options with no lockup period. The details we haven't worked out yet, but we will announce them well in advance of staking being possible. So, we will definitely, we'll have AMAs. We'll make sure people understand the different options. But in general, and this touches upon the last point that I made with regard to the NFTs. That's the OG NFT holders will definitely get some sort of bonus when it comes to staking. Some sort of multiplier will be applied to their staking rewards. And in general, we may do a special staking NFT launch where any holder of that token will receive a multiplier in their staking reward. So, again, that's a good example of how the tokens and the NFTs will help support each other.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much for the chance. Great project, I must say. So,
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to know how do Asvoria empower individuals to control their web. Did you get that within the digital wallet space? Did you get my question?
Oh, you're cutting in and out. I don't know if anyone else can hear you, but yeah, if you could just start from the beginning. And sorry, it was a little shaky, the connection.
Okay, all right. My question is, I want to know, how does Asvoria empower individuals to control their Web3 assets within the digital wallet space, and how do they try to simplify the process for new users who are not conversant with Web3 space? That's my first question. You got that now?
So if I understand, you're asking how they control their digital assets. Is that your question?
Yes, and how do they try to make the processes simple for users who are not used to Web3 space?
Okay, that's a great question. So if you think about, anybody that has been in the space for a while, if you have, let's put it this way, if you have a MetaMask wallet, you have learned so much compared to a brand new user with no experience. Just understanding what a non-custodial wallet is, how it works, how to install it, how to back it up, how to ensure that you don't forget your password, because if you do, you lose all your funds, how to send and receive digital assets. This is a completely different paradigm than anything that exists in the world today. So it's, we kind of take it for granted that, we have a wallet, we have this, we don't even really think about it. But when every single one of us, when we first entered the space and we first, installed our first wallet, it was very intimidating. It was very difficult, very challenging, and it really prevents a lot of people from entering the space. So I talked earlier about, us wanting to help mass adoption and having to have a strong focus on a simplified, intuitive user experience. The wallet is a perfect example of that. So we will be launching an in-app wallet, which will be a custodial wallet for new users. It'll be simple. It'll be just part of their experience, part of the app, and there will be fiat on and off ramps. There will be a swap feature. It'll be really, really easy to use. We will then also have learn to earn and other incentivized ways for people to increase their knowledge and to learn, okay, here's what a non-custodial wallet is. Here's why it's important for you to have one and for you not to store your assets ideally in any custodial environment. And but here's how to make sure that you can control your own wallet safely and securely, and all of the things. And then when you're ready, you can migrate. If you come into the space and you've already got a Phantom wallet, by all means, you can transfer all of your assets. They're on Solana. The tokens as well as the NFTs can easily be sent and stored in your Phantom wallet, which can then connect to our ecosystem through Wallet Connect, the way Phantom connects right now with a Solana ecosystem. So the option is there if you're an experienced user, but we really want to appeal to the overwhelmingly large segment of the population that has no experience in crypto and is intimidated, and doesn't know where to begin, is a little overwhelmed to enter the space. So we really want to simplify that for them.
Maybe I also can add to this, the sign up and the wallet, you also can see it as a 2.5, and with the choice to go 3.0 decentralized. So we want to encourage people to step up their game and educate it through the platform that they can be totally in the Web3 space. In case of UX UI, if you have the wallet, you also have the dashboard where you can track all your assets, but you also will have a closet or a backpack, we call it, and it's like a magic backpack. It's like Hermione of Harry Potter is opening up this backpack and have everything categorized correctly, like clothing, shoes, but you have the first categories, the second categories, and the third categories, and then it will be simplified and easy to understand, and which with every asset you have also the use cases, so you will understand, okay, I can use this in games. And maybe if we look further in the future, we are working together with Ken Nevil's team. He's solving the problem of interruptibility. He already built a gate or a portal from Doom to Minecraft. That's amazing that he can do this. So we are working together with him, and we need to work with other projects as well. And maybe this can be our own ecosystem, because we will have a lot of partnerships, launching a token, creating a collection in the NFT marketplace, for example, and then they can start building their Web3 space. And you can see it as like going to to the backpack or your living room. It also can be that you watch in your living room and that you go to the closet for your clothes, for example. So it can be something that grows over time, but at the beginning it will be simplified and an easy app to use that has clear categories through the platform.
Okay, all right then. Thank you very much. I think the protocols already implemented will help users get used to and adapt to the system easily. I don't know if I still have a chance. I would like to ask a second question.
DC?
DC?
For me, it's okay. Ask your question.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. It's concerning the Engage to NM utility I saw in the project white paper. So I want to know what kind of events will it be coming with, and will you be allowing users of your ecosystem to also engage or drop contents and earn from it? That's my question. Like, what kind of event will it be coming with? Will it center on entertainment, games, sports, and some kind of stuff like that?
Russell?
Well, we've got a lot of things planned for sure. The event space is a big part of metaverse in general. And again, if you saw the kind of graphics that we had there, there's that one video of Miko sitting on the couch. I mean, it's just really remarkable. Every time I see that, I'm amazed. The novelty doesn't seem to wear off. Just the way the shadow moves on the arm, and it's really, go to that. Yeah, that's right here. I mean, this just blows my mind every time. If you look at his arm from the blinds, the way the shadow moves, the level of detail in the couch, in his pant legs, or the shoes, just it's unprecedented in my opinion in the metaverse space. So that really bodes well for virtual events and conferences and concerts and even sporting events you can do. Like there's no limit to what events you can sort of simulcast that are either or strictly in the metaverse or IRL events that could be simulcast in the metaverse as well. So
I can have a great example. I'm a father now, and I have a community, for example, on WhatsApp of 3,000 fathers, and I work together with different companies, maybe Barbie, for example, and I'm building my metaverse. And with this partnership, Barbie can open a shop, but I also will have educators who start with first aid classes, for example. And because the project or the tokens in that ecosystem can be funded by the partnerships inside the space. So if you contribute or just join a class and learn about taking care of your baby, you will get tokens, for example. And with those tokens, you can get a discount at that partner shop, for example. So that's maybe a use case easier to understand, and that it can be anything. Anything is possible.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for you. All right. Thank you, DC, for the chance to ask my question too.
No problem, bud. Jaira Shalom, go ahead, brother. You're up.
All right. Thank you guys for having me on the ABC.
No problem.
Russia, that was a great presentation from you and your team. And my question is now you guys are building a very good and great product as well. So do you have strategy in place to onboard non-crypto artists who perhaps could have their works boosted on your platform? Do you have a strategy in place to onboard non-crypto artists? I mean, I love the example you gave earlier on, where many of those guys that are investors in these your project are non-crypto guys who are a kind of they've not really invest in crypto and know nothing about crypto. So I just want to know what are your commitment toward bringing artists into the non-crypto artists into the space to empower enhance your project.
That is the primary focus of our B2B strategy. So the idea is that that's how we will build value, and that's how we will work towards mass adoption. So if you are an individual with a fan base, like an athlete or an actor or a musician, if you're a content creator or an influencer, if you're a company, if you're a brand, you will need space in Web3. You will need a metaverse presence eventually. Just like it happened with Web 1, it happened with Web 2, it'll happen with Web 3. At one point, there was a question of why a plumber needs a web page. Then everyone got one and every business had one. Then there was a question of why does a plumber need a Facebook page? And eventually everybody had Web 2. And so the same thing will happen now. So eventually everyone will be here, but the sooner you get here, the better off you'll be. That's really our message. And that's one of our unique aspects of our metaverse is the fact that we will work with brands, we will work with companies. As we like to say, we will take them by the hand and we will lead them to the promised land, and we will give them comprehensive turnkey solutions that are easy to implement, easy to maintain, and give them the exposure in Web3, and more importantly, the ability to engage with their community on a much, much deeper level than is previously possible, and for the community to be rewarded for that engagement. So that's really the benefit to both sides, and why it's inevitable that eventually everyone will be here. So we are specifically appealing. We recognize the fact that most people, most individuals, most companies don't yet have any experience in Web3, and we have a very specific process for onboarding them in as easy a manner as possible.
All right, thank you very much. That was a great response from you, and it was a very brilliant one. Lastly, you said something I just quickly want to react on earlier on. You said most of the investors in your project are just like 10 to 11 solar, as it were, 10 to 11 solar. So I really want to know, was it a barrier you guys created, or one can actually put more into investment into the project?
No, there's no individual limit. We do have a hard cap of 10,000 Solana, but I just, in scrolling through all of the contributions, it just seemed like most of them fell between $100 and $1,000. Between 1 and 10 Solana, kind of in that range. We do have a few bigger ones, but what I'm hoping again is that's kind of the sweet spot. You don't really want all whales because they are mostly focused on flipping for a profit. They don't have necessarily the commitment to the project itself. In the sense that they will be users. Some of them for sure will, but a lot of them are there for profit essentially. But you still want people to be engaged, to have some skin in the game. So if they put in at least $100 or a few $100s. They are more likely to be loyal, to be committed, to be engaged, and that's really the kind of community we're looking for. We recognize that projects like this live and die with their community, and we are really cognizant of trying to foster that fierce loyalty. We want our community members to never want to sell, because the benefits of being part of this community are so significant that there's just by holding our NFTs, by holding our tokens, by being engaged, they're benefiting so much that it just makes no sense to sell. That's really what we're looking for and what we're trying to establish.
And that's why we already will give away an NFT for 1 SOL. So with the least of investment, you will already have voting rights in this platform. And this needs a big community. So everybody's going to Google, for example, for years now, because they were the first, but they also knew how to build community through a simplified UX UI. It was just a search bar, and it outputted everything. And that's what we also want to strive to, because we want to make this Web3 space, or entering the cryptocurrency, for example, as easy as possible, so they can launch. And it can be businesses or artists who want to bring more benefits through their community. And we have the knowledge in-house with the Asvoria studios, the Asvoria network, also the Asvoria incubators, that is part of this big ecosystem. So we can help them to the promised land, like Russell always said. And I like it. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Phil, and thank you, Russia. DC, thank you very much. That was a very clear one. Thank you.
No problem, big dog. Thank y'all for y'all's questions. And team, thank you for showing up and giving those great answers. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and conclude the AMA there. Dumbledore, you can go ahead and step up. I'm going to step down.
Thanks for hosting, DC. That was really great.
Absolutely.